إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu Rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Welcome to the Young Smirks podcast. We're here joined with Sheikh Assim al-Hakeem.
Assalamu alaikum. Hayyakum Allah wa baraka feekum.
How are you doing?
Fine, alhamdulillah, with the grace of Allah.
Alhamdulillah. I just wanted to do another podcast with you. We did one last time and I was kind of in my teething stage of the podcast.
Take your time, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. So last time we were speaking was on the journey of faith in Uganda.
Correct.
And now we're here in Kano. So how did you think the event went?
Wallahi, with the grace of Allah Azza wa Jal, after Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala abdihi wa rasulihi nabiyyina Muhammad, with the grace of Allah Azza wa Jal, the journey of faith is picking up momentum. MashaAllah, it's a very good platform for da'wah. A lot of the people come and their attendance is not of great importance. The feedback we get afterwards of people coming and saying that they've benefited and they've learned something and they express their gratitude to what they had gone through, this pays off a lot to us, alhamdulillah. And this is the revenue that we are expecting mostly, and this is how we measure whether it was a successful or unsuccessful event.
Yeah, subhanAllah, I think it's a big motivation, but also it's a good education as well. You know, a lot of the times these big conferences, they can get lost in motivation.
Correct.
But I think, especially this one, I think the speaker's got a bit more time as well.
Alhamdulillah, those who sponsored the event, may Allah reward them, abundantly for what they had given and contributed. It shows that the people, even the rich people, think positively of such conferences because of what they see as a return to the community.
Yeah, subhanAllah. Sheikh, what was your topics for the 2 days? What were you speaking about?
As you know, that the theme of the conference was Path to Jannah. So I had 2 topics, and then a third was added unscheduled because Sheikh Muhammad Salah had to travel to Abuja for another conference and to fill up for someone else. So alhamdulillah, I was blessed to deliver 3 lectures. One was about knowledge is the path to Jannah. So how would knowledge elevate your status in Jannah, and which knowledge are we talking about?
Yeah.
To define it. And the second topic was about time and utilizing it to reach Jannah. And the third topic was description of Jannah and the beauty of Jannah from the Quran and from the Sunnah.
SubhanAllah. I mean, I'd like to just ask you about the first topic, the importance of knowledge in actually getting to Jannah. I mean, what did you speak about in this?
See, knowledge is highly praised in the Quran and in the Sunnah. And if it were only for the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, where he says that whoever seeks a path to seeking knowledge, whoever takes a path to seeking knowledge, Allah will facilitate and ease his path to Jannah. So the Quran is filled with verses praising knowledge, and that only those who fear Allah among His servants are those with knowledge, and that Allah elevates those who believe and have knowledge over others. So what is meant by knowledge? Knowledge is divided into 2 types. The first knowledge is the religious knowledge, which leads a person to know Allah Azza wa Jal and to know Islam more. This is what is praised in the Quran and the Sunnah. So the knowledge of the Quran, the tafsir, the knowledge of the hadith, the Sunnah, the knowledge of fiqh, and of course the knowledge of aqeedah, of knowing your Lord, the Almighty, through His beautiful names and attributes, devoting your worship to Allah Azza wa Jal through Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah, and acknowledging that Allah is the Lord of the universe, the creator, the giver of life and taker of life, and that He is the provider, that He is the facilitator of our affairs, and all these things. This is the knowledge that people are praised when they possess it, and it would elevate them in Jannah according to their knowledge and their sincerity. Without sincerity, they will be thrown in hell, even if they memorize the Quran by heart.
Because there's that famous hadith of the first people.
The first three
The first
people
three
to
people.
be thrown into hell, one of them was a scholar, or in another interpretation or hadith, a qari, a person who memorizes and teaches the Quran. So, because if it was not sincere, he was not sincere for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, this was his fate. The second type of knowledge is the worldly knowledge, worldly sciences. And this is divided into two types as well. So one type is to have the knowledge of medicine, engineering, physics, chemistry, mathematics, and so forth. And this is permissible knowledge. You're not sinful and you're not rewarded unless you have a good intention. So a person who studies medicine, if his intention is to serve the community, to give da'wah through his profession, to help humanity, alhamdulillah, he's rewarded for that. But if not, then it's something permissible. He just gains money out of it and maybe fail. There's no sin on him.
Yeah.
The second type of worldly knowledge are the forbidden sciences. So anything that leads to haram is haram. And for an example, sorcery. Black magic is a science. It involves worshipping the jinn, sacrificing things to them. This is total blasphemy.
Yeah.
But it is a knowledge. It is knowledge. It is a science. Likewise, the science of astrology. When you predict what will happen to people according to the zodiac they were born in, etc. So they tell you your character is so and so, and all of this is nonsense. Yet it is considered to be a science to some people. Also, there is the science of art, haram art, such as acting, singing, music, making sculptures and drawing of human beings or animals or living creatures. This is a science, it's an art, it's beautiful. But it is haram because this is what Allah had prohibited upon us. So in a nutshell, this is all about it.
SubhanAllah. So there's certain knowledge that we need that is not only permissible, but it's obligatory, and it's needed to get to Jannah. Like the knowledge of Allah.
Of course, and this is elementary. Every single individual Muslim must acquire what is considered to be the minimum acceptable level, the level that he can acknowledge and has conviction of whom he is worshipping. The knowledge of Allah Azza wa Jal, the knowledge of how to pray, how to fast. If he's wealthy, how to give zakat. If he's going for Hajj, how to perform Hajj. This is the minimum requirement. He's not supposed to know about little technical things that only a handful of people know. So you won't be a bad Muslim if you cannot answer a question about inheritance division, for example, because this is not something mandatory upon you to know at that moment. But having said that, engineering can also be obligatory. See, there are communal obligations, which means that if the whole community does not fulfill it, they're all sinful. But if one of them fulfills the job or does the job, then there's no sin upon the whole community. For example, a communal obligation is to prepare a deceased corpse when he dies. So a brother dies. No one washes him, shrouds him, prays janazah or buries him, the whole community will be held accountable. If one does the job, this is sufficient. If one does all of this, alhamdulillah, the whole community is exempted from punishment.
Okay.
So these sciences, we do need engineers. If everyone says, no, I'm just going to devote my time to study the Quran and the sciences of religion, but we don't have doctors, we don't have engineers, we don't have pilots. In this case, the whole community will be at sin.
And it's likewise, it's so important to know what is not allowed as well, because as you said, in certain parts of the world, things like magic, sihr, sorcery, astrology are quite, common. Yeah, a lot of people actually take part in that. And I actually mentioned this in my talk, about sihr and things like this. And some people were shocked actually, on certain things like not astrology, what do you call it? Like the fortune telling.
Yes, soothsaying and fortune telling.
The things you see in the newspaper or on Facebook.
The zodiac, the astrology.
The astrology, yeah. And, it's surprising how many Muslims actually take part in these things. I mean, what are the repercussions of this for a Muslim?
The Prophet said, alayhi salatu, whoever goes to a fortune teller, Allah will not accept his prayers for 40 days. But if he goes to a fortune teller or a priest who predicts the future, and he believes him, then he has committed an act of apostasy, of kufr, of disbelief. So believing someone knows the future is an act of disbelief. A person leaves the fold of Islam because of that. Doing it just for the fun. A lot of the Muslims may read the newspapers and check their zodiacs just for the fun of it. They know that it is bogus and it's not true, but they just enjoy their time reading through it. These people, 40 days, Allah will not accept their prayers. And if they don't pray, they become a kafir. So they have to pray, but without anticipating any reward for that. It's like reading the palm of your hand. It's like going to in the circus to a woman with this bowl of
the crystal ball.
Yeah. Or in Egypt and elsewhere, they throw some types of oysters and shells, seashells, on the sand, and they predict. In so many places in Arabia and Turkey, they have this Turkish coffee, and after they drink it, there is the residue a little left over, so they turn it upside down, and after 5 minutes, they look at the traces of this residue when it came down, and they predict that this will happen. And all of these are lies. But some people do it for fun. 40 days, their prayer is not accepted. And some believe in it, and they say, oh yes, this is what they said last night. It came true. And this is an act of disbelief.
So Sheikh, I want to touch upon something we actually spoke about last time, because as you know, I had a few teething problems with my podcast. Some of the cameras were not working and the memory cards, and so we actually lost some of the footage. And I think one of the exciting things that you're involved in is Islam Q&A, because this obviously is one of the most visited websites
Correct.
In the world. And especially a lot of people in the West, they actually rely on Islam Q&A. So what's your involvement with Islam Q&A?
Well, I'm involved with the whole company, which Islam Q&A is one of their business units. So the big company is called Zaid Company, and they have Zaid TV, which is a satellite channel that is dedicated 100% to spreading authentic knowledge from the Quran and the Sunnah that teaches a person what he is required to learn. It also has Zaid Academy, which is a project that was launched approximately 3.5 years ago, and it is 2 years, 4 semesters, where a student would get 7 subjects every semester with quizzes, midterms, finals. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, it's in Arabic, of course. And till date, I think almost 85 or 90,000 students are registered.
SubhanAllah.
And
In the Arabic language.
in Arabic from all over the
MashaAllah.
world. And approximately 25,000 have graduated already. And they're pursuing something else. The mission and vision of this academy is to teach a Muslim individual what he is not exempted from not knowing. So there are things that you have no excuse for not knowing. If someone says, I didn't know that Maghrib was 3 rak'ahs. This is not an excuse. This is something you have to know. So it teaches Quran, it teaches Arabic, it teaches hadith, it teaches fiqh, it teaches seerah, and among other subjects. Alhamdulillah. And it is totally free of charge.
MashaAllah.
Not a single penny you pay for that. And with the grace of Allah, so many languages are interested now. So many cultures are interested in developing this. And this is something you can participate and learn from either by watching Zaid TV or by logging in to their YouTube channel where you find all the lectures for free. There's also Facebook interaction, there's Twitter, there all types of social media they're involved in. So Islam Q&A, with the grace of Allah Azza wa Jal, last year was visited by 101 million visitors.
SubhanAllah.
It is the largest Islamic website in the world.
MashaAllah.
And this was confirmed with experts. When I heard the figure, I was doubtful, but I asked experts in multimedia like Dr. Zakir Naik, and he confirmed this to me. He said, yes, it is the largest and the biggest, most visited Islamic site worldwide.
SubhanAllah.
So my involvement with them was that I give them sometimes consultations when they have meetings. Sometimes they send me questions and I answer them. They used to send me regularly 4 questions upon my request, not more anymore, so that I could answer that. And alhamdulillah, they are serving the whole ummah. And no one, I think, who has access to the internet, and if you tell them www.islamqa.info, would not recognize it or know it. Everyone depends on it for seeking the fatwa, the knowledge in their life. And by the way, we are more than open to sponsors, and this is something that is needed because it takes a lot to run such a website, especially if it's not only in Arabic, if it's in like 14 other languages. So you need translators, you need researchers, you need people to look into and rewrite and check.
It'd be interesting to know. Do you know which language was visited the most? You know, because it's in different.
This is probable, but I think I would presume that Arabic is the most visited because they don't give you. You see, if you visit my website, this is in English, and I usually just say yes or no. They give you a detailed research when they answer you with evidences from the Quran and reference, with evidences from the Hadith with references, authentications, different opinion of scholars, and then they give you the cream of their answer. So it is a research paper rather than yes or no question. So I think Arabic is the most visited language because a lot of the Arabs, the Muslims, need someone to trust. See, you can find so many muftis nowadays giving you fatwa. So many scholars left, right, and center. But you don't trust any of them. It's an issue of trust. Okay, Islam Q&A, okay, it's green. I trust them. So-and-so website, I may visit, read, but I'm not certain. I have to go and cross-check with Islam Q&A.
Yeah.
So this is their strength.
Now, for those brothers and sisters out there, maybe they're from certain communities. They might even associate with certain madhabs, the Hanafi, the Maliki, Shafi, or the Hanbali madhab. And so they might question, they might think, well, how does Islam Q&A fit into this? Does it, can I take the opinion of this? What would you say to this?
People are divided into three types. People that are scholars, and there are those who are students of knowledge, and there are those who are laymen. The layman cannot differentiate between an ayah and a hadith. So if you recite something to them with melodious tone, they would not understand. So if I say إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ, people say, which surah? It's not an ayah, it's a hadith. So they don't have the ability to say that this is right or this is wrong. Such people, they are instructed to follow a particular madhab. Better more, they're instructed to follow a scholar whom they trust and would follow blindly because they know he follows Quran and the Sunnah. Those who are already Hanafi or Hanbali or Shafi'i or Maliki, if they are unable to tell night from day, right from left, wrong from right, in this case we tell them stick to your own school of thought and the scholars you have, because all of you guys can't do better than that. But if a person is an intellectual, he's smart, he looks around and he figures things out, then we tell him trust Islam Q&A and let that website be your sheikh, because they have your answer and they can get back to you and they can explain things to you from the Quran and the Sunnah. And this is what actually Allah will ask us about on the Day of Judgment. Allah will not ask you about what is your madhab. Allah will ask you what is your religion and who is that messenger who came to you and what did you respond. So Allah says in the Quran, وَيَوْمَ يُنَادِيهِمْ فَيَقُولُ مَاذَا أَجَبْتُمُ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. And on the Day of Judgment, Allah will call them and say, what have you responded to the messengers? So Allah will not ask you what have you responded to the imams or the scholars, but rather to the messenger of Allah Azza wa Jal. So we have the Quran and we have the Sunnah, and if you're a little bit knowledgeable, we have the understanding of the Quran and the Sunnah according to the favorite three generations, al-Sahaba, al-Tabi'un, and Tabi'i al-Tabi'in. Those three generations are the best of all humanity, as the Prophet said, خَيْرُ الْقُرُونِ قَيْرٌ. The best of generations is my generation. That is the generation of the companions. And so forth. So this is what we're supposed to follow. I am amazed by those who reject the Quran or reject the Sunnah and say, well, it's an issue of dispute among scholars. Akhi, a person once asked one of these da'is, or they call them nowadays scholars, and he said that what's the ruling on traveling for Hajj without a mahram? And the man, with all audacity, said the Saudi government allows it if you're over 40, so this is okay. So another person asked him, yes, but the Prophet prohibited it, alayhi salatu wasalam. So this should be the thing that decides whether to do or not to do. This is the cornerstone of any argument. The Prophet prohibited, alayhi salatu wasalam, a woman from traveling without a mahram. And the guy says, yeah, it's an issue of dispute. You feel to take this opinion, it's okay. Someone else feels to take another opinion, it's okay. How would it be okay if the Prophet ﷺ prohibited it? Yes, answer with yes or no. Did the Prophet say this? And definitely you said yes. But, astaghfirullah. How would you say but after the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ prohibiting it. Therefore, this is where we usually come in conflict with people. Are we presenting you with a verse of the Quran or with the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ? And most of the times, the hadith is agreed unanimously among scholars that it's authentic and it's applicable. But there's a Tom, Dick, or Harry in Mogadishu or in Zimbabwe saying differently. So should we listen to that person or to the Prophet's instruction, alayhi salam? So this is the fork of the road that determines whether you are a true Muslim believer who follows the Quran and the Sunnah or something else.
SubhanAllah. Yeah, I mean, SubhanAllah, you know, it's such a quick access, you know, you just type in Google Islam Q&A and ask your question and it just comes right up. And what I like about Islam Q&A, like you said, it gives you the evidence and it also gives you a comparative as well. You know, it does discuss difference of opinion,
Correct.
but it kind of shows you why a certain opinion is more correct or all correct.
Correct.
So yeah, SubhanAllah, Jazakallah khair. So SubhanAllah, tell us about, you know, for the past, how long have you been involved in Dawah? Because, you know, we know you from Huda TV, Ask Huda, and also Peace TV. So, you know, when did you start actually in the field of Dawah?
In the field of da'wah, alhamdulillah, I started about 33 years ago.
So,
When I started, 30 years ago, when I started leading the prayer as an imam of a masjid in Jeddah. And since it was, of course, all in Arabic, so I did not try to do anything in English except in 93 or 94, when I was invited to teach a course in fiqh in Al-Muntada Al-Islami in London. So I went there, and it was a beautiful experience, but it stopped until 2000 probably, when the Saudi television invited me to deliver a weekly program on Bulugh al-Maram, on fiqh. And this went on for 3 years approximately, during which I was invited by Huda TV when they first started. And Huda TV was not there in the beginning. For a whole year, it was Al-Majid English channel for a year. And then Huda took over, the same staff, the same management, different name. And I've been with them ever since, alhamdulillah. And in 2007 or 8, I can't remember now, I was also honored to be invited by Dr. Zakir Naik to participate in peace conference. So I participated in 3 or 4 peace conferences in Mumbai, in Sumaya grounds, and we used to also do a lot of programs on youth, on tafsir, on fiqh, and Allah blessed me with completing the full book of Umdatul Ahkam, which is the whole matan on fiqh, from tahara till jihad, the whole thing in a workshop, alhamdulillah, in Mumbai, and people until today, with the grace of Allah, are benefiting from it and sending me thank you emails, and I praise Allah Azza wa Jal first and foremost. And
is this filmed?
yes, it's on high def cameras, very high def, like 4K or something like this.
I'm 4K, Sheikh.
Or then 8K maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, mashallah. No, that's good. Subhanallah. You know, you've traveled a lot, Sheikh, and also I see every time I meet you, you know, you're very keen in the gym. You know, I've seen you keeping fit and working out. How important is this to you, subhanAllah? I know you are...
Well, this is something that's...
Not many people can see, but under them...
you don't have to.
Mashallah.
I've been involved in sports since approximately, let's say, 44 years or 45 years.
Mashallah.
And I originally played squash. And I have won tournaments in squash. So I'm a bit competitive. And I play table tennis, and I have also medals in table tennis. But I go to the gym as a form of trying to vent out my stress. And it helps me keep up in shape. And I remember that my wife once got really fed up, and she said, you have to choose either me or the gym. So I told her I'm going to miss her a lot. And, but this is a joke. But seriously, it's a routine you have to do. I cannot imagine myself not going to the gym, even for half an hour. Usually I wake up for about an hour, give or take. But you have to do this and make it in your system so that you can feel good about yourself. And it's something halal, permissible you do.
SubhanAllah. And also, I wanted to ask you about your Twitter, because there's a lot of controversy online about Twitter. We see a lot of posts. I think some of them are fake, Sheikh. I don't know, but some of them are very funny. Some of them people might take the wrong way. And you actually told me yesterday that you don't actually have that. It's not your Twitter account, right?
No. Instagram is not mine.
Oh, Instagram.
But my own Twitter account, Sheikh Assim al-Hakeem, that has a white ghutra or scarf or whatever you call it, and it has approximately 150,000 followers. Little. I'm not Justin Bieber, but yeah, I'm trying. No tattoos, alhamdulillah. This is mine, and no one handles it except me. And yes, it's true that I answer questions 99.8. So 99.8% I do answer questions seriously. Every now and then I get a question that is either from a troll, someone trolling me, or from a person who did not think twice before sending the question. So I tend to joke a little bit. Not insult. Usually not insult.
Borderline.
Somewhere there. And I would ask a question or reply in an answer that might be a little bit funny. So the vast majority of people tend to feel that this is okay to have some humor. There are those who are a little bit not fine with it. And I'm fine with their opinion. They're entitled to have their opinion. But when they say something disrespectful, I usually block them. And I have like thousands that I've blocked from my Twitter account, just simply because I felt that there was disrespect in their answer. And some of them are genuine. They will say, Sheikh, this is inappropriate. You're a Sheikh. You should not answer in this fashion. Listen, I did not ask people to make me a Sheikh. I do not want people to consider me as a Sheikh. I've been pushed by the people to do this, and I looked around, there is no one doing it. So it becomes a communal obligation upon me to do it. Now, you do not expect me, not for a single second, to change my colors for you. This is me. When I travel, I do not travel like this. I put on my jeans and maybe a shirt or a t-shirt, because this is how I feel comfortable. Sheikh, you are an imam. You are this. Akhi, this is me. When I am in a good mood, I make fun of things. I may crack jokes. Sheikh, this is not what a sheikh is supposed to be. Sue me. What are you going to do? This is me. I don't care about what people say. I never told anyone to consider me to be a sheikh or the likes. So you can have me, you can leave me. This is up to you.
SubhanAllah. There were some, you was mentioning some of them last night. Somebody asked if they could write a love letter to their wife.
Yeah, actually, such a question it was worded wrongly. The man meant to ask, is it permissible to write a love letter to one's wife when he's away? This is what was the question supposed to be. And to look at the question is weird. What prevents you from writing a love letter to your wife? The person who asked it in a wrong tense or wrong pronoun. He said, is it permissible to write a love letter to your wife when you were away? So I said, why would you write a love letter to my wife? She's my wife. So I just answered like this and moved on because I thought that the question was not serious.
Yeah, but even like if you took the meaning of what he was trying to say, even the question,
it didn't have any meaning.
It's quite obvious,
yes,
really.
So either he was a troll, and I answered him like any troll, and if he wasn't, then I hope he got the message.
You know, Sheikh, subhanAllah, you know, I think a lot of people don't know the work that goes into it. SubhanAllah, we had breakfast this morning, and then afterwards you went out for an hour or even more, and you're just constantly answering questions online. People don't know that you get hundreds and hundreds of maybe thousands of questions a week.
Actually, it's limited to 250
a week.
A day.
A day.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So
and skipping Saturday only off because in the beginning it used to be 400 a day, but then I suffocated.
SubhanAllah.
So we've limited it to first come, first serve. We begin from 9 o'clock a.m. Saudi time till 5 o'clock p.m. So usually it is a couple hours, then it's blocked because we've reached the quota of 250. But to answer these 250 questions, it requires me approximately average of 5 hours a day.
SubhanAllah.
And this is not my work. This is the team that I have with me. Because maybe 65 to 70% of the questions have been asked before, and they have a YouTube link or in my website a link that answers the same question. So they just send it to me. I check whether it is the right understanding of the question and the right answer, and I okay it. But if I have to answer the whole 250 from scratch, that would take probably 8 hours.
SubhanAllah. And SubhanAllah, Sheikh, you know, this is all for free. People are actually sending questions, and you're, you know, volunteering your time to help people. SubhanAllah.
I don't see it as a volunteering. It's an obligation and an obsession. I love, with the grace of Allah, to help answer people's questions or solve their problems. It's something that I had in me since like 35 years ago or 40 years ago when I started teaching in high school. It's just a fulfilling feeling when you solve people's problems or help them. But of course we have, I do this on Facebook, on Twitter, and I do this on my website, and I do this through phone, providing it's not more than 5 minutes, because I have to put a limit to phone calls. But I have also the paid service, which is consultation via Skype or FaceTime. And this is quite helpful for marital problems. So lots of the wives call, a lot of the brothers call from all over the world, subhanAllah, from Australia, from India, Kashmir. Now the internet is down, but when they go out to Mumbai or to Delhi, from Pakistan, from America, from Norway, alhamdulillah, they call, and they have this half an hour slot, which is a paid service, but it's one-to-one.
Right,
so they can see me, they can talk to me, and I can ask them questions.
Mashallah.
Unlike when it's an
email. This is open to anyone. So
it's on my website.
Mashallah. So if they want, they can have half an hour service.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit expensive, so most people would say, "Akhi, this is too much."
I think people need to understand that, you know, people they presume that scholars, sheikhs like yourself, and even people like me who are just giving dawah, they think that we're rich and we're sponsored because we travel in the world and we have lots of money, and they don't know the reality that, like, most of the sheikhs and the du'ats that I know, they're struggling, Sheikh.
Of course,
and if people only knew, how, people were struggling and living, they'll think a lot differently, and you have to make an income somewhere.
Yeah, but the problem is that people only think of themselves. So I have a problem, and the sheikh wants to charge me $100 for half an hour. This sheikh is a crook. Akhi, you have a problem? You are more than welcome. My website is free of charge. Send me your email, 1 email a day, and you get the answer within 24 hours. He says, no, I don't want your email. Okay, you can call me, but do not exceed 5 minutes, because most of the time people want to vent. They want to say, my husband did this, and it takes half an hour. I can't afford this. So you can do this. You can wait until I'm on Twitter. You can ask me questions on Twitter. It's all free. No, I want to meet you face to face. Okay, you have 5 minutes. So no, this is not enough. You have to listen to my problem. Akhi, I have millions of people who would like to have this, and I cannot afford it time-wise. And likewise, it's a service. When you go and buy an iPhone for like $800 or $1,000, you pay it without a blink.
Yeah, Sheikh, there was a brother on Facebook the other day. He was mentioning, he's a Quran teacher, and some of the brothers are complaining that he was charging because, that's how he makes a living in London. And the brother's struggling. And subhanAllah, some of these people that were complaining, he found them in the restaurant, having a big spread of food. They didn't think anything of paying £70 or $20.
The issue is that the vast majority of Muslims don't know that in Islam, it is legitimate to ask money for teaching Quran, for teaching knowledge, for teaching fiqh. The Prophet himself, ﷺ, approved his companions when they refused to give ruqyah to a tribesman who was bitten by a snake or stung by a scorpion. They refused to make ruqyah until they give them some food for it. So they did, and when they took the food to the Prophet ﷺ and they refrained from eating it because they didn't know it was legit or not, the Prophet ﷺ said to them, the best money to take is over the Quran, teaching it or reciting it. So you're not taking money for the Quran, you're taking money for your time and for your effort in teaching it. And the vast majority of scholars say that this is totally legit. It's like going to a consultant or a neurosurgeon in a hospital and you pay him an arm and a leg. You wouldn't say that, Akhi, why are you doing this? You should do it for free. This is not a charity organization. I have to make a living. You have to make a living as well.
Even yesterday, subhanAllah, he was very tired. We came back from the conference. It was very tiring, subhanAllah. And, a lady requested, some time to ask you a question. And I said, Sheikh, what are you doing? You need to rest, because subhanAllah, you'd been out all day. And he said, no, alhamdulillah, So she was going to come at 6 o'clock and you asked me to come and meet you downstairs. They didn't turn up. SubhanAllah, this type of thing, not kind of respecting the time of
well, this happens, and you have to appreciate that there are traffic jams, there are problems, there are things that may delay people from attending their appointment, but alhamdulillah, we all have our shortcomings.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. I think we'll wind it up here.
Jazakumullah khair for having me.
We've got a flight to catch. I've not got a watch. I left my watch.
Inshallah.
But inshallah, we will head to Abuja and then we'll head back.
We'll see you there, inshallah.
Jazakallah.
Barakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء